Today we're gonna go over my first experience with my DJI Air 3 using waypoints. Before this flight I had literally flown them for about 3 minutes just over my house, and this is the first time. These waypoints that you're about to see, I programmed them in the living room at home, just about 6 miles away from the field. And then I took the drone to the field, and this is how it went. Being inexperienced with it, I was looking for the takeoff menu inside the waypoint. But then I realized, no, you have to first take off. And so you click on the little takeoff icon and then hold the button that appears on the screen. Once the drone took off to about 2 feet, then I manually moved it to the center of the runway. And that was the last time that I had to manually fly the machine. Once it arrived there, I went into the waypoint menu, and then I simply pushed on the go button. And from that point on, the machine did all the functions automatically. By the way, this view that you're looking at here is shot through an Insta360 camera that my daughter is holding. And this view is on an ODM camera that I'm wearing on the side of my head. Here you can see the drone is moving to the position and viewing direction that waypoint 1 instructs, which is a point of interest that I placed a few feet behind where I'm standing. Once it reaches the location, it is instructed to turn on the camera and begin its path. On waypoint 2, it was instructed to just head back in reverse, keep an eye on the point of interest that I had set just behind us, and go to an altitude of about 230 feet or so. And then from there, it was instructed to head south and go to a higher altitude to about 320 or thereabouts. Being inexperienced at this, I couldn't resist the drive to keep my left thumb on top of the stop button, the pause button that just kills the motion of the drone if anything happens, if it runs away or something strange wants to happen. And my right thumb just would not move away from the from the right stick. It took quite a lot of effort to be able to relax my right hand away from the controller and gain trust that the machine. I could not completely move my left thumb off the pause button, and I was very concerned with reading the telemetry that I was getting from the drone. At this point, I began to trust the drone a little more as it was coming down just as it should, following the path that was instructed to follow. And it looked very, very determined and precise on what it was doing. For this section of the flight, there was a point of interest placed on top of the building with the windows. And here it shifted to the other side of the field, and then at this point instructed to simply look at the path of flight. In other words, it just looks at whatever direction it's flying, and then it was instructed to do a nice slow turn to the right and gain some elevation to get this shot. It's amazing how flat the terrain is in this part of the country. This is Texas, in the Houston area. We're a few miles outside Houston, obviously, and is beautiful and super calm. and empty over here. You can see how gorgeous this area is. Here we are looking to the east and slowly panning towards the north. You can see the weather that is north from us, very far away. It was very sunny, very hot. It's about 96 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pushing the limits. The device states that 104 is the maximum operation temperature, so we are very, very close. This is a manual zoom. Unfortunately, you cannot switch the cameras while recording. I did not want to pause the device, and I did not want to, I just wanted the waypoints to flow. So I just used a little bit of manual zoom on the normal camera, and you can see that it's still pretty good, although you do see a little decay on the resolution, as you would expect it.
I hear it.
No, you hear this.
Oh.
You don't see it's over there. Crossing the cloud right now. Big cloud.
Okay, I see it now. Dang, that is small.
The drone followed the waypoints flawlessly and went pretty far. I could still see it, but it was a tiny little dot. The signal strength was full bars, and there was no loss of communication or any lapses or nothing that I could appreciate that was an indication that we were too far from each other, other than struggling to see it. But we kept it in visual range. We could probably go back out a little bit further, but not by a lot more. After flying that long distance, I wanted to do a fly by the rear of the field, when I set the waypoint and the point of interest of this area, I put it behind this structure. This is our bathrooms, our restrooms in the field, and it looked exactly where I put the waypoint, and so that's a me error, not a drone error, and it executed it perfectly, and then it proceeded on its way. You can get an idea of how hot it was that day. You can hear the controller whining the fans at full speed.
All of that by itself. I just pushed the button to take off, and it's been doing this all by itself.
That is so cool.
I look forward to experimenting more with this and learning more about how it executes its paths. And I know that there's a million more features, hero shots and all sorts of automated imaging schemes that it can do. And I want to learn how to do proper waypoints and shift the points of interest, etc. At this point, the drone just goes to its final waypoint and turns off the camera. In retrospect, I would have just left the camera on to record the flight to home base, which is instructed to just fly home once it completes its waypoints, and that's what it did. It arrived to its final waypoint and shut off the camera and came back home. It is impressive how fast it just returns and it lands automatically with no input from my part, which is difficult to fight against because I've been flying RC for many years, and it was difficult to resist the temptation to want to take over control
Awesome.
and land it. But the truth is, there's no way to land it other than putting it stationary in the air and grabbing it, or pushing the button and having it land automatically. I am currently actively studying for my Part 107 so I can get my
That thing is
commercial
so
drone
cool.
pilot license. And I am looking forward to see what are all the avenues, volumetric measurements and surveying and inspections, and so many things that can be done with these machines. All in all, very impressive machine, and I highly recommend it. And stay tuned for further videos. I am looking forward to learning a lot and taking artistic shots. Thank you for watching.